just changing. Well, welcome back. We go in. Just turn you a little bit. Okay, so we're back. Okay. So, I've been listening to the calls and wanting answers and all that type of stuff, or even just generally offering support and guidance. Now, keeping this literally, and I mean literally this time, short and sweet, there's only really kind of like two matters. One is a point of interest, and the other one is here in the UK. The point of interest is this universal basic income. Well, hurry! It has now come to pass, people beginning to understand, or it's sinking in, filtering through, talked about, and come to better understand that in order for that to work, you need quite a strong or otherwise stable economy, or GDP, or whichever measurement tool you wish to use. And as is with America, some people referring to him as the new guy, the underdog, who's running for presidency, the math man, has indeed pointed out that at the end of the day, to make it work, it does need to be a strong economy for it to work, as was said from the beginning. Not against it. Yeah. Has its pros and cons? Of course it does. However, once you've got to that point, if indeed that this individual or any other individual for that matter, gets into a position where they're able to action such plans, just remember, as a bit of a heads up, that whilst the current state of your economy is pretty strong and would support said idea or said notion, you have to ensure that you maintain that current state of economic progress or prosperity, because if not, you will quite literally bleed yourself dry and quickly. Understanding the balance as to why you're giving people the money, why people are receiving the money, and whilst it's unconditional, that at the end of the day, to sit around and flout it is really kind of like an irresponsible way of spending your time and giving money. Yeah? So just take into all the both subjective and objective aspects of it all. There's more to this than just simply saying we're in a good position to do it, let's do it, and boom, oh look, we can't do it anymore. It's not gonna bode too well, is it? Right. That being said, coming to the point, this thing with Brexit. A democratic vote / referendum was cast over, be it marginal or not, over 50%, as is with most political systems. 50%, over 50% past the post first. So the vote to leave past the post. Yeah? Simple as. To change that would defy democracy, would defy all of the means of legitimate structurings and so on and so forth. And it is now progressively coming to pass, even after listening to the Remainers. They're beginning to accept the fact that, yeah, majority has decided to leave. They didn't decide how they want to leave, they just decided that they wanted to leave. The how was left to the MPs. But it's now come to light, everybody everywhere, so this is certainly not a contested statement, is fully aware that no agreement is being reached, that this whole process is likened to a weaning from let's leave to, we'll convince them to stay. Yeah. So it's more like collusion. It's more like, they'll eventually forget about it. Let's just rejoin again, and come 2020, all these new changes that apply to the European Union apply to us, and yada yada yada, and that's it, completely gone. It's over. Right? Like, granted, that doesn't mean that the United Kingdom can't reach the top and lead the European Union, so on and so forth. Yeah. But it would certainly be made difficult, wouldn't it? Yeah. People would be penalised to one extent or another. Well, of course it is. It's called penalties for doing such and such. It's already been seen throughout the other economic states, your European states. It's a matter of cause and effect when you're talking about these type of things. Alright. That being said, coming back, how we're going to leave? Well, we know the fact that we are going to leave. There was a deadline that was supposed to have been met a year ago. A year later, it still hasn't. With the hope and expectation, with the month of October, and the balancing of it all, by which means come the end, should tip the scale towards seeing the United Kingdom once and for all leaving the European Union, putting everybody, everybody, and that's including the European Union states, 27 other states, out of the miseries, and then re-establish some form of relationship to progress forward with. Really makes sense, doesn't it? It sounds very simple. But it's not. It's just not getting that way. Nobody just seems to be coming to any form of conclusion or giving any leeway, because it's either one thing or another. It is, again, very simple. It just seems like too much hard work. It does. Retrospectively, I don't think in some ways that the UK government, Scottish government, Irish governments are ready in some ways. I just don't think we have the right type of MPs or leadership, or whichever you wish to target, running the realm or leading the realms. It's all just too much like hard work. And that is money for nothing. Yeah. It's quite a pain when it comes to this type of thing, because it's not so much as making a decision can be made very easily, but it's making sure that when a decision is being made, that it's being made for the right reasons. Yeah. So when you look at this, what you've got to take into consideration is the impact of it all. Now, based on the upset right across the board, any decision that I make, realistically speaking, is not going to be as severe as what's currently going on, or could happen if in the event that this goes sour, this whole process, this Brexit thing goes sour. It could get dramatically worse. Right, now 31st of October is supposed to be on leave. So what's the best thing for me to say? Well, I've already done this once before. This time round, will make sure it happens. Right? It's part of the Constitution. It is democratic, or therefore in response to a democratic process, and it also is adherent to various elements that were found within the original withdrawal agreement. Otherwise, intrinsically, is consented to by all parties, whether signed or not. Therefore, uncodified or an unwritten agreement, much like our Constitution. However, it's now gotten to a point, like I was saying to you before, I mentioned nothing to anybody but one person, and then that was hard to process. Yeah? It actually wound up, it's now ended up to a point where it's graced my doorstep. John, there's a few people have been talking and whatnot. Did you know about Section 61 in the Magna Carta 1215? In the 1215 Magna Carta. Really? So what does that say? What it was saying is that if any one person has a grievance against, say, said peers, leadership and whatnot, that, you can hold them to account. Oh, wow, okay. I take it this is from some form of rebellion group? Oh, yeah, this is. Look what they've posted. Yeah. Ooh. 27 key points. Yeah. I wonder if somebody will actually, do something about it. So if it's not one thing, it's another, isn't it? It's kind of like I actively try to avoid the kind of autocratic or the supreme kind of approach towards all things. There's the supremacy in it all. But I end up finding myself in that position and thinking to myself, well, fine, okay, I will do it. So, what does this mean to you? Well, come the 31st of October, if a decision has not been made and agreed to, then if there is not one good reason given as to why not, and I mean one good reason as to why not, in the following 5 days thereafter, a theoretic bombshell will drop on Parliament, the UK Parliament, and will cascade right across the 27 nations of Europe. How will you know it will have dropped? Well, it already has in actual fact, because the first act of public, which you'll find will be a link beneath this video, if not actually beneath the video, it will be in a comment beneath it. And in actual fact, it's already there, it's already embedded. Supreme Courts even know about it. And they do. It's been delivered on a couple of occasions. Both Downing Street, all houses, and even including Sovereignty, Buckingham Palace, man's aware of it. Okay. Everybody who's required to know about this knows about it. So it's already there. And come the 5th of November, it will be triggered. No questions asked. Nobody's disputed it. It's the nature of it, the reason for it. It's all televised. I don't need to argue my case any more than everybody already has. Yeah? None of this is made up. It's not just something I've thought of, and just thought, let's try my luck, you know what I mean? It's not by any means of the imagination one stretch to another. Not at all. Literally speaking, there'll be good enough cause, grounds, reasoning and complaint to effectively activate it once again. So in a manner of speaking, you have got thereabouts 40 days. You have 40 days in order to find a resolve. If you don't, this will be your resolve. What it means to you and everybody else is that effectively Parliament will surrender to the will of the people via the Shadow Crown, in this case myself. But it will not just be myself. Unlike these videos, it will not be just myself. There will be a purposely built team, or a purpose-built team. They will constitute or otherwise form a form of governing body which will liken itself to arbitrators. Yeah? No, you will. Nobody else will get to choose. I'm sorry, you can make suggestions. It doesn't matter what court or level or barrister or training or whatever it is. At the end of the day, right, this is something that I've created. This is something I've created on behalf of you, the people, and you will not be telling me what to do. It will be done my way, right? And you will see how it's supposed to be done, one way or another. Right? Simple as that. So, therefore, offence. Yeah. 31st of October, all you have to give one good reason why come the 5th of November, symbolically speaking, 5th of November, why I don't trigger the complaint, trigger this first act of public. It is a lawful means of approaching this. It is part of our constitution. It is in response to a democratic call. Never mind rallying in the street this time. This time around, it's nothing to do with rallying in the street now. This is based on the results of a referendum and progressive disgruntlement of the public. And it's not just the United Kingdom. There are other people within the European Union that want to see this resolved. And if our current face of it all cannot, or faces, system cannot deal with this, then we will. We will do it for you. It's so simple. And there it is. Form of arbitration. And there it is. One good reason. Why not? Yeah? Right, I've taken enough of your time. Bit of a kind of a thumbs up for the universal credit thing. It can be a good thing if you can make it work. There are pros and cons to it all. You found a few of the pros, you found that you're in a position to deal with it, and perhaps someday it will spread out, especially in line with changing technology and so on, and changing technology and economies. You know, we might find ourselves as in everybody in a better state. Yeah? Who knows? But let's get over this hurdle first. Let's get this done and out of the way, and then we'll deal with all the other policies and everything afterwards. You've only got 30 days, 30, 35, 36 days, yeah, to actually find your resolve. Yeah? I know you're working to a strict timetable yourselves. Credit given where it's due, hence the reason why I've left you all alone. But because I keep hearing this over and over and over and over again, and it's now coming to my doorstep, in front of the general public, no matter how many numbers there are on the list, right, the profile, this is going further and wider than most people will take credit for, or give credit for. So that is my support, my guidance, my offering. now. That is what will happen if indeed this is not dealt with by the 31st of October. I'm sorry I couldn't give anything else. I take enough of your time as it is through these videos, so it's just quick and to the point one. Right? Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.